this video, we are going to learn how to find the surface area of prisms using nets. Let's begin. So what is a prism? A prism is just a three-dimensional figure with two bases and rectangular faces. Prisms are named after the shape of their base, and the number of faces is determined by the number of sides on the base shape. So every prism has two bases. How many faces it has is going to depend on what kind of base it has. So we are going to look at two kinds, rectangular prisms and triangular prisms, but you can also have a prism with a pentagon for a base, or a octagon, or a hexagon, or any number of bases. And basically, the shapes connecting the bases to the faces are going to be rectangles. So I have these two prisms on the side. As you can see, this has a little rectangular or square base, and it has the same one on top, right on top of it. And this one is a sideways prism. It's got a right triangle right over here. And then on the other side is the other base. Look at that. You see two bases right there? Yeah, it's another base for our triangular prism. So let's take a look at our rectangular prism first. They have two identical rectangular bases that are parallel to each other, and if we look at these two bases, here they are. They're on the sides. They are the bases. You can write that down. They have four rectangular faces as well. Now, how do you know how many faces it is? Well, it depends on the shape of the base. So a base is a rectangle, right? This base is a rectangle. It's got four sides, which means it's going to have four rectangles connecting the two. If I look at this triangle, look at this triangular base. It has three sides, which means it needs three rectangles connecting the two triangles. If I had a five-sided figure, it's if I have two of them, well, then I'm going to need five rectangular faces to connect the two. So this has four rectangular faces, and it has a total of, let's take a look at these faces. So we have the front, the side, the right side, the back side face, and then the left side base. Look at that, super fancy. And if you look at the connections of the bases, look, this side connects to that, and then this part right here is going to have the same height. It connects to it right there, and this little piece right there, it connects to the left side. So it has a total of six sides, two bases, four faces. 2 plus 4 is 6. Something we ought to know is that this makes a prism because the bases are on each side. This will also make a prism. There's a base on each side. This also technically makes a prism, as long as you know that this size is correct. You know, it is the same kind of dimensions as, you know, it needs to be. This is also correct. You've got faces on both sides. This is not. Now, how do you know? It's because both faces are on the both bases are on the same side. You can't have a prism where both bases are on the same side. They need to be on opposite sides. So, like, if this was a box, this should cover the left side, and this should cover the right side. All right, let's take a look at our triangular prism. It's got two identical triangular bases that are parallel to each other. It's got, well, let's take a look at the two bases. It also has three rectangular faces. So this would be one of the faces, and this would be another one of the faces right here. And then we've also got a third face on the other side right there, which goes over here. So there you go, your three faces. It has a total of 5 sides because 2 bases plus 3 faces equals 5 total sides. Let's go ahead and get started on some of the, also to know, remember the bases need to go on both sides. It could be in the middle, on the side, on the top, on the bottom, but they need to be on both sides. So if I have a base right here, I need to have a base on the other side, somewhere on the other side, usually on the same piece. Let's go ahead and look at some examples. We have our first rectangular prism. Sometimes it can be nifty to write the numbers that we know, like if this side is 14, it's good to know that that's 14. If this is 7, that's 7. If this is 6, then this is also 6, and this piece is also 6. Anyways, I like to fill in extra numbers sometimes. It can be kind of helpful. So let's draw our net. Here we have our base, and bases, the formula for our base is base times height. So what is our base and our height? Well, let's take a look. 7 and 6. Yeah. So we multiply those two numbers, and we get 42. Let's look at, I'm going to write that on my net right here. Let's look at two of the sides now. Let's look at the front and the back. Remember, they both are the same size, just like the bases are the exact same. So for a rectangular prism, the front and the back are the same. So the base and the height, I put FB for front back. And base of this front is 7, and the height is, height is 14. So 7 times 14. If I multiply that out, that's 98. So that's, got this 98, and that's 98. Let's do the sides now. Call that the left and the right side. And the formula is base times height because it is a rectangle. And what is the base and height? Let's see, it's 6 and 14. All right, well, 6 times 14, which equals 84, which means this is 84 and this is 84. So how do you find the surface area of the whole thing? You just add it up. So 42 plus 42 plus 98 plus 98 plus 84 plus 84 equals 448 meters squared. That's all calculator work. Now, some of you would do it a different way. So we already have our answer, but if you wanted to do it a different way, sometimes people will do it this way. They'll just multiply the base by 2 and the front and the back by 2 and the left and the right by 2. So once they find the 42, they multiply it by 2 and they get 84. And then, so they add that step at the end. So they'll do, this is 98, and they multiply it by 2, which gets them 196. And then they'll find the left and the right, and they get 84. Then they multiply it by 2 to get 168. And the reason they do that is because there are 2 of those sides, and it's the same size. So once you find the all of that, you add them up, of course, and you end up getting the same answer, 448. Or there's one more way. You can also add up each side, then multiply by 2. So I can just take 42 plus 98 plus 84, and then add them all up first, and then you multiply by 2. And once you do that, you should get 448. So yeah, 3 different ways once you have these numbers. Let's go ahead and try another one. Let's do a triangular prism this time. So something to note about our triangular prisms. Unlike our rectangular prisms, there's no guarantee that the faces will have the same sides. It's not like you can just multiply something by 2, like this side's going to be equal to the other side. There's no guarantee there, but there is for the rectangular prism. So something to keep in mind, and this is going to be one of those cases. So if this part's 12, then this down here is also 12. So that's kind of some nifty info. Here's my net. Bases first, and I have 2 of them. Remember, formula is base times height divided by 2, which is, let's see, the base is 6, the height is 8. You divide by 2, and you get 24. Now you can multiply that by 2. I'm gonna save that for later, but we just know the area of one base, which is 24. So that's 24, and this is 24. Let's do one of the faces. Let's do the bottom one first. It's a rectangle, so our formula is base times height. Base is 6, height is 12, so multiply that out and we get 72. And notice, this is the only piece that's 72. There's no other 72 on there. Let's do another side. It's a rectangle. Now, formula is base times height. And what is the base and the height? One of them is 12 and the other is 10, so it should be 12 times 10, which is 120. Makes this part 120. And let's do the last piece. The last piece is over here, and it is a rectangle, so base times height is a formula. It looks like the base and the height are 8 and 12, so 8 times 12, which gets us 96. So what we do is we just add up all the sides. 24 plus 24 plus 72 plus 120 plus 96 gets us 336 inches squared. Now you can also do the multiplying the base by 2, and so you're adding 84 plus 72 plus 120 plus 96, which gets you 336 as well. There is no such thing as adding them all up and multiplying by 2 because that's not how this one works. So a couple different ways to do this one. Anyhow, let's look at example 3. You can try this one on your own if you'd like. We've got, I'm going to fill in the information I know. This is 24.5, which means so is the other side. Bottom's 10.5, so is the top, and the width is 7, so I'm going to write a 7 over there. Draw my net. All right, let's start off with our bases. My base is formula is base times height. Looks like 10.5 times 7 is going to be the 2 numbers I multiply. Again, you can start multiplying that by 2 right now if you want. It's up to you. Anyhow, 73.5, and that's also 73.5. Let's do the front and the back. Front and the back is, that's base times height, and it's 10.5 times 24.5, it looks like. And I multiply those two up, and I get 257.25. Both of those are 257.25. And finally, let's do the left and the right side. Base times height, because they're both rectangles. It looks like the base is 7, the height is 24.5. And I get 171.5 for both of them. Add them all up, you should get 1004.5 inches square. Or if you did it the other way, by, let's say you just multiplied all of that stuff by 2 already, then you'd just be adding these numbers up, 147 plus 514.5 plus 343, and you'll get the same thing. Or you could have done the add these all up, add each of the sides up, like 73.5, and then multiply the whole thing by 2, and you would have gotten the same answer. They all work. So let's try example 4. This is a bit of a challenge. It's important to know. And what makes it so challenging? Well, the fractions, of course, but don't let the fractions scare you. Especially these fractions, you can easily convert them to decimals. So let's convert 15.5 to 15.5. And to do that, you just type 1 divided by 2 in your calculator. You end up with 0.5. And so 15.5 would be 15.5. 9 3/4, just put 3/4 in your calculator, and what do you get? You should get 0.75 or 0.75. So 9 3/4 would be 9.75. All right, that wasn't so hard. So this other side is 14, the top is 15.5, this side is also 9.75. Let's begin. We've got our net. So let's do our bases. 15.5 and is 15.5, and our height is 9.75. So there we go. 151.25 is what I get for my answer. Let's do the front and the back now. Front and the back, base and height. Let's see, the base looks like it's 15.5, the height is 14, so 15.5 times 5.14. Oops, that's a typo right there. I should just say 14. So, I don't know why I typed that. Anyways, it should be 15.5 times 217, which will get you, let me make sure, 15.5 times 14. It is 217. This right here is just a typo. So ignore that, write 14 instead. Next, we have our sides, and the base of this is 9.75, and the height is 14. Oh, look at that. I typed it in correctly this time. So when you multiply that out, you should get 136.5 meters square. And now you can add them all up. Or if you did it the other way by multiplying everything by 2, you're also going to get the same thing. Now, what if they have the answers as a fraction? Or then what you can do is turn this into a fraction. It's 504 and 75 over 100. Then you have to reduce. What goes into 75 and 100? 25 does. So you end up with 504 and 3/4 meters square. Both of those are the right answer. They're all the right answer. Anyhow, let's continue. We've got a triangular prism this time. Let's draw our net. So here we have our bases, which are triangles. Base times height divided by 2 is our formula. So base is 24, height is 32. You can know that because of this right angle, 24 and 32. Divide that by 2, and you get 384 centimeters squared. So I'm going to write that in. Let's take a look at one of our sides, this side right here. So face 1. Looks like the base is 24, the height is 46. So we multiply those two, and we should get 1,104. Let's look at this base right here. It looks like our base is, let's see the other side. Oh, it's 40, and our height is 46. So 40 times 46. And that gets us 1,840. And finally, our last side, base times height is our formula. Let's see, our base is 32, our height is 46. Once we multiply that out, we should get 1472. And then, of course, we add up all the numbers, 384 plus 384 plus 1104 plus 1840 plus 1472, and that gets us 5,184 centimeters square. Whew. All right, we've got one more example, I think. Two triangles. or sorry, triangular prism with 2 triangles. So writing the other information, I know that's 19 up there. But this is what our net should look like. Let's look at our bases first. It's base times height divided by 2 is our formula. Here's our right angle. Therefore, our base is 12. And the other line, the height, is going to be 8. So 12 times 8 divided by 2. And we get 96. Let's look at, divide that by 2. And then you get 48. Mistake right there. So 12 times 8 divided by 2 is 48. So we're going to write that in the bases. Let's look at the bottom. The bottom looks like a rectangle with a base of 12 and a height of 19. We are going to get 228 once we multiply that out. Let's look at one of the sides. It looks like it's got a base of 9 and a height of 19 and 10. So we multiply those two out and we get 190. And finally, our last side, base times height is our formula. Looks like a base of 10 and a height of 19, same as the other one. That's nifty. And we get 190 again. Again, we add up all the sides, 48 plus 228 plus 190 plus 190 again, and we get 704 meters square as our answer. So that is it. That is how you use nets to find the surface area of prisms. They are super hard. But you're also super smart, so go ahead and try some examples on your own. Good luck.